my dislike for Brandon is nowhere near as deep, and it's not bigger than the love I have for this man. He is amazing to my daughters. My girl's father has been gone for 4 years, and let's clear this up too. I was married to my girl's dad. Everybody say, well, do you got 2 baby daddies? And why did this one leave you? We were married. He ain't been around in 4 years. He was gone before my husband got there.
When you say gone, was he locked up or just gone like
trifling
missing?
ass baby daddy.
Okay. What's up? It's Lip Service. I'm Angela Yee.
I'm Gigi McGuire.
I'm Avian.
I'm Stephanie Santiago.
Hi.
And we drinking right now.
Hey.
I'm Lala.
And I'm ASAP.
You are not ASAP. This is
ASAP
Dre.
the mogul. Yeah, Dre. That's 2.
Family or fiance?
Yeah.
So you guys did end up getting married.
We did.
Yes.
We did. It's here.
Okay.
We did, didn't we?
Congratulations.
And you wear your ring too.
Yeah, I
That's
wear
nice.
my ring. Yeah.
Congratulations.
You know how many guys
men don't wear
wear
their rings?
There's plenty.
There
Surprise.
are plenty of men who don't wear their ring.
What?
How would you feel about that, Lala? If he was like, no,
How would you feel if she didn't wear her ring?
What?
Huh?
How would you feel if she didn't wear her ring?
Oh, that's not an option.
I know.
Wait a
That's-
minute.
that's-
That's just like me saying I'm not going to change my last name.
Nah.
Because
Nah, that's different.
I don't know.
That's
Me and him
different.
had a conversation about that.
That's different.
No, it's not.
Okay, then what's the point of me buying the ring if you're not going to wear it?
What's the point of us getting married if I'm not going to change my last name?
Hey, well.
You think you have to change your last name?
I don't think that you have to. I think it kind of depends. And sometimes even if you change your last name, it might just be something that you do on paper. Like you're Angela Yee, right? So you have a different platform. People know you, and your
They know
name
my
is a
last
part
name.
of your brand.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
got a
it's
chain to
different.
say Yee on it. I don't want to have to get a new chain.
So if you get married to a man named Jenkins, then you're not gonna hyphen it Jenkins. You just gonna keep Yee.
It depends on the last name too. Some people got fucked up last names.
Yeah,
You
that's
took the
true.
words
Like if your
right
last
out of
name
my
is
mouth.
like terrible or something.
Yeah.
But what does it matter? It's not like people are going to approach you with that name. You're always going to be Angela Yee, right?
But you still have to use it, right? In
Use
the
it for
sense
what?
if you have-
Legal
Like
reasons, like you said, on
legal
paper.
reasons.
On paper is one
She could
thing,
be
but
So you
Angela
could just
Yee
write
Jenkins.
it.
Jenkins.
So you write it on paper, but you'll just still go as
I mean,
Angela
I don't know.
Yee.
I haven't really thought that
There's
hard about
plenty of
it.
celebrities that still go by their celebrity name that have been married.
I know 2 guys that said they wouldn't wear a ring. They just prefer a watch.
Watch.
What?
What?
The reason why I asked is
Because they don't wear jewelry. And I'm like, listen.
Watch is that's jewelry.
What?
Is that-
Wait, I'm confused
But
by this.
like jewelry, like rings. But I'm like, how does that define marriage?
But a ring
Not a
doesn't define
watch.
marriage necessarily.
Okay,
You know what
that's
I'm
a good
saying?
point.
Like, but it would bother me if he didn't wear a ring.
Right. No, it would bother me too.
It would bother me.
Like, okay, what if the last name was Fokker?
Nah.
Angela
Gonna
Yee
Yee
Fokker.
Fokker. Angela Yee Fokker.
Stephanie Fokker.
Last name.
Stephanie Florence
Oh, no.
Santiago Fokker.
Fokker.
I'm fucked already in the middle. Like, I don't want to
if
be
I want
fucked
that.
at that.
You're already a
end.
Florence. You don't
But
want to be a
it's tough
Fokker.
I'm
because-
already Florence. I don't want to be Fokker.
But it's just tough because that's not his fault that he has that
Right.
last name. So he's going to feel bad. Like, how do you even have that conversation?
I feel like you could change your last name to Yee.
Come on with it.
Nah, no,
I
we
don't
can't
think
do that.
I
No,
would
we
do that.
can't do
You
that.
can't
Nah,
do
we're
that.
not going. That's going backwards, man. We got the guy. You
I
gotta
don't,
get his
I don't
name.
see. I don't see no man changing their last name to a woman's last name at all. That part's
Now,
not gonna
let's
happen.
discuss a couple of things with you guys in your relationship before you got married. What do you do if you don't like your man's best friend? At all, period. Like, let's just say, you know, and we're going to open this question up to everybody. How do you handle that situation when it's like he don't like you, you don't like him, but that's the closest person to him?
Me?
Maybe, and you can weigh in because I know
Me?
you got.
Are you asking me? Or
can go
can I
first.
go?
Go ahead.
Okay. He's gone. It's done. It's either me or him, and that's it. And I've done it before, and I'll do it again. I don't care. Because honestly, you know, when you're in a relationship, you have to put your relationship first, and that's it. You know, that's your friendships. I'm not saying like cut him off and be like, hey, fuck you, I'm changing my number, I don't want to talk to you anymore. But he's not going to be around, and you're not hanging out with him no more, and that's it. You could talk to him, maybe invite him to our wedding.
Can he be in the wedding?
Can he be the best man?
He can't be the best man because I don't like him. And I'm not going to make one of my friends dance with him at my wedding. I'm sorry.
I'm not going to make one of my friends.
But it's not just your wedding, though, right?
But it's, I mean, he could be there. He's an invited guest.
Yeah.
He could get a plate. You
Speaking of,
Hey, all he gets is a plate.
know what I'm saying? That's it.
I think that's a tough situation because it
Definitely
depends on the type of friendship they have, how long they've known each other. and what you could tolerate, really. You know, I was in a relationship where his best friends weren't really that great of influences. Like, they'd help him or talk to him about ways to cheat and stuff like that. And, you know, me, I was just like, nah, that ain't it. So every time he'd tell me he'd be with one of them, I would feel away.
Right.
I would have to
Yeah.
kind of try to control my emotions, because on one hand, like you said, you know, he's gone, but in reality, a lot of guys want to keep their friends because
Right.
Oh
let's
no,
be
it works
real.
for me every time.
no, but let's
Your
be real.
friends would never encourage
I know what you got to say.
him
Go
to
ahead.
cheat on
But
him.
some
part.
relationships
Yeah.
won't last.
Exactly. I
So
knew
a
that's
lot
what
of
you was about to
people
say.
keep their friends.
When we break
Yeah.
up, they become friends again.
Yeah, it just
friends
depends
before.
on it depends on the
friends the whole
dynamic.
time.
I
was
have
cool
an
the whole
example.
time,
This is a true story, and it's not even. This didn't even happen too long ago. I was dating someone, and I found out that he was best friends with a rat, a person who put a lot of people in jail.
Nah, that's different.
And
That's a
I
whole
told
different-
Yeah, that's
him
different.
either you're gonna hang out with rats or you're gonna be with me, and that's it. And
I
he
mean,
stopped
that's-
hanging out with the rat.
but that's different.
And now we're broken up, and him and the rat are friends again.
But that's different because he has to look at it in a sense of, do I want to be ratted on? A lot of women kind
exactly.
of
I mean,
are
that's
good
like
at
common
filtering out
sense.
people.
That's like, duh. If you can't do nothing with this guy, he's gonna rat
but
on
that's
you.
different. What if they
You
have
gotta
a
stop dating
relationship
Ninja
that's
Turtles then. They hanging out
Yeah.
with Master Splinter.
But if they have a
what I'm saying?
relationship that's deeper than that, and like the friend's not a rat, they know each other since childhood. That's
Right.
different.
No,
a lot
they-
of people won't
they
be
know
open
each
to
other.
just pushing
That's
that
not
away.
necessarily something to say, though. I think people got to learn the difference between best friend and old friend. Those are
Yep.
two different things. You can know
Exactly.
somebody
Exactly.
forever, and that person was meant to be in your life for that time.
Right.
It doesn't mean that you throw them away, but maybe y'all are growing, and you growing over to this direction. They
But
growing
what
over
if
to
it's
this
But I
direction.
think you got to give
That's
that
exactly how I
person. You got to
felt
give that
about
person
that.
time to go through those motions.
That is
though
true.
you have to give that
Which
person. You can't
person?
just. You can't. Whoever's best friend. If I don't like
Let's
her
talk
best
about you
friend.
then.
Yeah, like me. Like I had to go through that motion, right? Like I had to figure it out. Like that's been my best friend from 20 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he's never done anything to me like rat or anything like that. We've never that's my brother. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of hard to say get rid of your brother. You know what I'm saying? So
But you
and-
caught, he said to me. He hasn't done anything to me that I don't feel like hurt me. So sometimes you also have to take
relationship.
perspectives
Right.
of other people
Exactly.
into play.
Exactly.
Right.
So I think that's what I had to learn. I had to figure out like, hey man, as I'm growing, as I'm going through this new relationship and going through my marriage, I had to figure out like what was most important to me. Like, yeah, you my best friend, we still cool and everything, but this is my wife now. So, now we have to, you kind of got to switch gears
Adjust.
on
No,
how
that's
we-
what he
how
had
we
to do
friend.
with him. Like,
Yeah.
and I, they knew each other since high school, and
Yeah.
this is a 40-year-old man, and he told him, he kept it real with him. Like, listen, you put my girl's best friend in jail, so
Oh, yeah,
I
that's
can't
automatic.
really
That's
fuck with you
It's
no
automatic,
more.
yeah.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
I would think
Yeah.
that's a whole other story.
Yeah, that's a,
But
that's
that's
a-
not things that you weigh in before you decide to be in a relationship with somebody.
I didn't know. I had
You
no
didn't?
idea. Check it out. I had no idea. So this is what happened. We were out at this restaurant, right? So he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna bring my friend through." He's a shooter. He's telling me how gangster this guy is. I'm like, all right, whatever. So boom, we're at the spot. I'm in the Bronx and everybody knows me there. Like I'm a popular girl, so I know everybody. And we're chilling in the spot. My best friend calls me from jail, whatever. I'm thinking, oh, this guy is great. This guy is cool. I like this guy. I actually like him. So my friend calls me from the jail and she mentions the guy's name. So I was like, wait.
Oh, damn.
I was like, are we talking about the same person? And she was like, yeah. I was like, yo, this guy just had me out with him the other night.
Wow.
And I feel like you're putting me in danger. You don't know who's trying to kill him for what he did or whatever they're gonna do to him. You can't. You putting me in danger. We had a huge blowout, and I never treated him the same after that. We broke up soon after.
Well, Gigi, what about you? Like dating a guy and you don't like one of his best friends.
I feel like I would have to take into consideration why I don't like the person. If it's something personal, if I just don't feel the vibes. I would also have to take in consideration the intensity of their relationship.
Right.
But if it got to the point where it's something personal that he did to me that I can't get past, and maybe that my boyfriend is like, nah, but he didn't mean it, or whatever the situation may be, then if it's personal towards me and I really feel that type of way, then I'm not gonna say choose between me and him, but you keep that relationship over there.
Exactly.
Don't bring that shit
I
around.
don't
So
want to hear
Lala,
about it.
let's talk about how you dealt with it. And your situation.
Like, don't force it on me.
So the show that we went on, Family or Fiance, it don't really give y'all the backstory to
It never
everything.
did.
Yeah, so give it
The
to
part
us.
the part that really got, I have this image now based off how the show
That
looks.
you're controlling and
and it's not like that. First off, the thing that they leave out, me and Brandon were friends as well. So
Okay.
that's what kind of played into part. Now,
You were
So
all
his best
friends.
friend,
Yeah.
you were friends.
yeah, we were all
Okay.
cool. So even with me being friends with Brandon, I've always known, okay, he got his ways about him, but as long as he keep that over there, I'm cool with it. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, it also makes it look like I'm just real rah-rah. We had a conversation. And the more you keep making me talk about something and do something, I'm human. Now, when I do get mad, I snap, crackle, and pop. And that's what happened on that show. We had already, that wasn't our first time tackling that. We had talked about it at home. We were good. We had talked about it several times and we were working through that. And I think that in his defense, constantly having to talk about it, constantly having to defend himself on the remark that he made about my child, he broke as well. My thing is, I don't care. You need to stand to that apology. I don't care how many times you asked about it. If you are sincerely sorry about it, you're sorry. And you're going to always respect how I feel. Now, the producers kept making us talk about it.
Right.
Which is why, and it just unraveled.
And they cut a lot of stuff out from the show.
They cut a lot out.
And a lot of
Yeah, you know, they're always
conversations.
going to put the spicy
Yeah,
shit
of
I was
on.
pissed.
Yeah.
So Lala, what was the
Yeah.
comment about your child for people that haven't seen
So, Lord have mercy. Here we go. I knew y'all was going to ask me that too. Him and Dre were on the phone. And by the way, Dre knew I could hear this conversation. It wasn't an eavesdropping situation.
It was a situation where I'm on the phone with him. We talking on speakerphone. And he's like, "Hey, is Shonda around?" And I'm like, "Nah, she in the other room. I don't think she could hear me or whatever." But it was like me and him talk. Like, I'm sure you guys have
But he
friends.
knew I was right there.
Yeah,
He knew, but he just told Brandon, "Nah, she in the other room."
when he asked me, I'm thinking he about to talk about what he regularly usually talk about, like girls,
Bitches.
bitches, and hoes.
And I
shit
listened
like
to that stuff. That stuff don't bother me
Right.
at all.
And so when we were talking, we were talking about how, we have 2 daughters. And, one is older, one's tall, slim. And the other one is she's younger and, she's feeling herself out right now.
She's
you know what I'm
stocky.
saying? She's stocky.
She's
So,
my stocky daughter.
but she's beautiful. Both of them beautiful girls. And he was me and him were having a conversation about, hey, I notice one looks different than the other. How are you going to deal with that growing up? Like not as in one's cute and one's ugly. One's hey.
No, that's how I took it. And
That's how she took it. That's how she took it.
That's how you
But the conversation between me and him was, hey man, you were stocky as a kid. You know how it was for you growing up being kind of stocky, and how are you going to deal with that when that comes up because she's a girl? How are you going to have those
Saying that you were
conversations?
that way when you were
Exactly.
young.
How are you going to how are you going to have that conversation with her because she's a girl? You know what I'm saying? And so she's going to be self-confident about her image. What are you going to do? How are you going to deal with that growing up? Because this is my first marriage. I don't have any biological kids, and he does, and he's like trying to give me,
Parenting
kind of
advice?
almost, but kind of like
No.
on a nigga conversation. You know what I'm saying?
Brandon was
Like
trying to be funny, and the way he's talking about it right now, he's explaining it the way he took it.
Right.
But that's not how Brandon said it. And because I hear Brandon have harsh conversations all the time, of course I'm gonna
You
think
know what he
meant
meant.
it that's in that same mannerism. You know what I'm saying? Also, what I have to keep in mind is, and only because this topic has come up so much, a lot of men talk like that when they get together.
Right. They just
And I haven't
say
met
things that would be inappropriate
not
for other
talked
people
to
But
to
I feel like
overhear.
everybody does that, not just men. Women do that too.
That's
like,
true.
Women
I'm in your
do
comfort
that.
zone
when you
I will
Y'all,
say- I
when
will
y'all
say
by
that.
each other, y'all talk about all types of shit. You
But there's certain
probably
things
wouldn't
that's
want
just off
nobody to hear.
limits to me.
Like kids.
Like kids.
Yeah,
You
no.
know what I'm
And
saying?
also how you say
I
certain
couldn't
things.
deal with somebody
Like
saying
kids.
anything about my child. I'm sorry.
And I
can't.
flip. And I think the
Yeah,
thing that irritates
I-
me the most, everybody see me being spicy on TV, but it's like, y'all act like I'm being spicy about, he made a comment about my outfit. Like, I felt
talking
offended
about
about
my
my
child.
child.
And it's
Yeah,
also how you
yeah.
it's also how you say it too.
Yeah.
Because if you have advice or you have some type of comment, you gotta kind of be cautious how you say it when it comes to dealing with other people's friends, family, kids.
Children.
And that's
Honestly, I would feel like he should just mind his business and not even bring
That's
it
how
up.
I felt.
yeah.
Yeah,
But what I will say and what I will give to Brandon, Brandon didn't know I felt the way about the comment. My husband knew. And I told my husband, I don't want to be around. I like keep him away, like, because I'm really ready to fight is what I really want to say. But at
know
the
how
same
she
time,
is.
I love my husband. No offense, my dislike for Brandon is nowhere near as deep and it's not bigger than the love I have for this man. He is amazing to my daughters. My girl's father has been gone for 4 years. And let's clear this up too. I was married to my girl's dad. Everybody said, well, do you got 2 baby daddies? And why did this one leave you? We were married. He ain't been around in 4 years. He was gone before my husband got there.
When you say gone, was he locked up or just gone, like
trifling
missing?
ass baby daddy.
Okay, just not taking care of his business.
gone.
Yeah, and once he figured out that I didn't want him no more, it was hit and miss with the kids. Like, talk to the kids for 2 weeks, disappear for 3 months. Let them talk to them for 2 months, disappear for... And I finally got to the point where I was like, you disappear again, I'm done.
Because that's doing more harm.
It's doing way more harm, especially when they have
brings
one
a lot of
man.
confusion.
It brings a lot of confusion. It brings a lot of confusion. And I've gotten criticized so much about that since being on the show because they don't give that information. They're like, oh, she hiding something because she didn't talk about it. No, we talked about it. They didn't air that part.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a hard decision to make too because people want to know. And people have called in to ask Yee with these questions like, look, my child's father is unreliable. He wants to come see the kids. I don't know if he's going to show up or not. And I don't know if I should let him continue to sometimes be in their life and sometimes not. Because at the end of the day, you also don't want to make it so that, he's cut off, but then you also don't want your kids to get their hopes up to see their dad, and then
the dad let them down.
See, I went through that
And
same
then you
thing
gotta deal
growing
with
up.
that.
Like my dad wasn't around, and my mom, because the lifestyle my dad was living, my mom chose to keep me away from that lifestyle. And he would try to come in back and forth, but then wouldn't follow through. So it's like, you know what? Instead of just putting my son or putting my kid through this constant struggle with his dad, I'm just gonna cut it off.
But I will say this, it's not something that you do overnight. Yeah. Moms out there, like, don't let it just happen once. For me, I let this continue for a minute to make sure, like, okay, he dropped the ball, Let me tell you who actually made the decision for me to let it be done. My daughter. The daughter that the comment was made about. And I think, like, at the table, they kind of cut this part short. My dad saying, oh, you're sensitive about him making that comment because of which daughter it is. That particular daughter I have was born with a birth defect. She's had her thumb cut off. He slept in a hospital bed beside her. So, of course, I am sensitive to that child. Right. And her biological father was not there for any of that. To this day, hasn't seen her through any of that. So, with that being the case, it's like the last time I did allow him, after his disappearing act, he came back in. He's the one that talked me into give him one more chance. And after he disappeared that time, I'm like, I'm done. Right. It was like New Year's Eve, and she came in the room, and she purposely waited till he went and got in the shower. And she was like, Mom, is Dre in the shower? And I'm like, yeah. Why does my dad not love me how he does? He was supposed to be here for Christmas. I said, okay, I'm through. Right. I'm done this time. I finally was just like, that's it.
And when the kids notice, that's important too.
That's
and depending on their age, because with me, my dad left when I was 14. Like, he just up and left, had a whole new family on the side. I found out years later. But at that point, I was already... Even at 14, I was kind of already independent. Like, I knew he was always out working or whatever. My mom was a strong, independent mom. So I got those qualities from her. And then just over the years, just seeing my dad. And, we're developing a better relationship now, which I'm grateful for, because you have to end up having compassion and forgiveness. But after a while, I just realized, like, okay, he's just flaking. Like, he'll be like, oh, let's do lunch this weekend. Me, you, and your brother. And I'm like, okay. And me and my brother would clear our schedule, and then he just won't call. Or he'll be like, yeah, I'll call you later. And he won't show up. So it got to the point where, me and my brother, me first, I was just like, look, I'm not canceling my plans for you.
That's right.
Like, I'm already an adult. Like, I got to the point where I got used to you not being there, and I saw what it was. And I was just like, I'm not canceling my plans or my life for your inconsistency. So I just will move on with my life. And even to the point where he would be like, let's get together this weekend. I'm like, yeah, okay. Okay. Like, anyway. But, it's just tough for the kids. But once the kids realize that and make that decision on their own, too, that's real.
You got to listen to them.
Yeah. That's what really made me really want to step up and, like, really step up into that dad role, because I know how that feeling is. I know I've been through that. You know what I'm saying? And, like, I'll do different things. Like, I'll just go up there in their room and just talk to them. Like, hey, what's going on, guys? How was school? Like, talking about life, whatever is going on. Like, no one did that for me. So I'm like, what can I do to pour in to them, to make
break
sure.
the cycle.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask y'all this. Being a married couple, because we love when we have married couples on the show.
My favorite episodes are when we have married couples.
So does sex life get better after you get married? Because I've heard both sides. So for you guys.
I think it depends on the people. For us,
Definitely
got better.
Definitely.
So what changes? Like, break it down.
Was
For
there
me,
like
I think the weight of the guilt. So I'm like a good mixture of turn up and spirituality, you know? And since him and I got together, we
She
both
loved
got
God,
closer.
but she cussed a little bit.
That's true.
I'm down for that.
Right.
Me
You know what I'm
too.
saying? And I think that people kind of get that confused with me because I do speak that language when I'm trying to talk to somebody and uplift them and encourage them with things. But you piss me off, it's like, okay, I'm not Jesus. Okay? So when we got married, being able to just have sex without that guilt, like that felt good.
Right.
Knowing that my daughters looked at him a different way as well, I think that was another big thing. Then for some reason, like he has this, like when I say the goofiest person I've ever met in life, like he wants to purposely do stuff to get caught by the kids. Like the trampoline is right outside. Like we just bought a house. The trampoline is right outside and we got like these roller shades. He'll purposely be like, and they start going down. And we in
already
there
know what
having
time
sex,
it
and we
is.
hear this
Yeah.
dun, 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 dun. Like they outside, they
the
got
trampoline.
friends out right. They're literally 10
I'm
feet
trying to
on the
outjump
other
them,
side.
too.
So like little stuff like that, or lock the back door so they can't get in the house and let's have sex on the kitchen counter real quick.
Like the kids
Leave the kids outside. And then when they come in, he wants to act normal. So it's like now that we're married, he's like, God said this is okay.
Right.
So I think that
But that
the
adds
fun part.
That adds
that?
fun.
Yeah, that adds a little bit of
Spontaneous.
suspense
Yeah.
in the little.
Have you ever gotten caught?
Oh man, what?
No, they think they caught us. They ain't catch us.
No, they know. Like they smart. Like they know. I remember one time, like it was late. It was probably like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. Maybe later than that. It's probably like 5 o'clock in the morning.
I know what you're finna tell me.
And
You know it was
had
later
to
than that.
go ahead and sneak one in. Early in the
morning. That
you know
wasn't
what
even
I'm
late
saying?
night. That was early
Yeah, that was
morning.
early
The
morning.
kids' time to wake up for school was 20 minutes prior to, and your body gets used to waking up at a certain time. So it's like,
Alarm or
even
not.
when you're asleep, your natural body, like you're just waking up. I'm like, no, like the kid's finna wake up in like 20 minutes and he
When
wanna
I
play.
tell you, man, she woke up and heard a knock on the door. I felt like I heard something moving. And I'm like, oh,
He's like, was it
oh,
me
shit.
or is that the door?
So thank God I just, we just got done. And then
God.
all I hear was a
Knock at the door.
Mom? Mom? Are you okay?
Listen, when he said it, like y'all, when she said that, my stomach dropped. I'm like, I said,
It sounds like you're in pain.
Wow. Oh yeah, they definitely
but
caught
listen,
y'all.
and then this is the thing, when she knocked at the door, I said, shh, just be quiet, pretend like we sleep. So we sat there for a second, and then she knocked a little like, I know you
I heard
y'all
you.
just
Right.
moving around. So I was like, yeah, babe, what's up? She was like, are you okay? I'm like, and this fool starts laughing.
I hold it in, man. I tried.
You heard it. Y'all got
I
caught.
was in a car accident not too long before that, so she knew that my ankle was kind of bothering me a little
okay.
bit. So she was like, what were you sound like you're in pain. I said, your dad was massaging my ankle and it just hurt. Really bad.
That was a good cleanup. That was a good cleanup.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
I
Yeah,
knew she know
quick.
though.
She quick.
No,
with
that was
it.
a good
If
cleanup.
she
Quick
wasn't
on the
involved in
draw.
the accident, she probably would have been like,
This the thing. How many times when
safe,
y'all
y'all.
were younger, something happened and you kind of dusted it off, and now that you older, you like, okay,
they was
I
having
remember.
sex.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think she gonna be 30 years old and be like,
for sure.
Yeah,
I remember that one
yeah,
time.
yeah.
Listen,
She gonna
it's gonna happen.
She turned 18.
It's gonna happen sooner than 30. Trust
she
that.
don't know.
Yeah.
She don't
Now,
know.
let me ask you this. So the girls, are they going to have his last name? Dre's last name?
Absolutely.
Okay.
They already go by his last name at school. Like technically, with the registrar, it's still their old last name because it hasn't become a legal
They
thing.
actually can't wait for that last name to change. They're like,
They asked me to
wanna-
wait and
yeah.
change mine.
Oh, they love him.
So y'all
That's
y'all go
beautiful.
together? Oh, that's sweet.
They asked me to wait to change mine, but I ain't wait.
Now, after you got married, and are there things that you hadn't done in the bedroom before that you were like, okay,
That you
now we
waited
could
for after
try?
marriage?
Did you wait for anything, or y'all had did it all already?
I feel like she like before we got married, I feel like there was like things like, oh, I'm waiting for marriage to bring this out on you. And then I was like, she brought them out, but she did them so like flawlessly. I was like, I feel like
Who taught you that?
Yeah, like I almost felt like played. Like how come I'm just now getting
How come
this?
I'm just
Like,
now
But
realizing
it's
that you
now
had that
getting
one
it
it.
going
wasn't a
on?
surprise. Like we would have sex and he'd just be like, "Yeah." I'd be like, "You thought that was something? Said, wait till you marry me." So he
I
always
feel
knew
that.
something was coming, and he's big
was
time
like,
celebrity
okay,
DJ.
so
That was fire.
I'm
That's
trying to
so
figure-
fire.
So listen, like he knew something was coming,
that's
but he
fire.
kind of cocky. So he was like, man, I'm a DJ. I done had it all done.
Right,
I'm like,
been on the
okay.
road.
You know
I
what you
got
call
you.
that? GPE. Good pussy energy.
Okay.
That's GP. That's that good pussy energy. Well, you know.
She came with it after the
So what was with it? Like, what is it? What did you do to?
like, you know, like I think a whole nother like thing in her throat opened up. Like,
You got a whole nother level
yeah, a whole
down.
nother level.
Level
Like,
down.
it was like one level down. You know what I'm saying? Like it was.
he
I felt
go.
like I was here. You know what I'm saying?
Here he go.
She's like, oh.
Here he go.
Now you know what it, and I'm not married, never been married, but you know what I calculate from that, just because I'm a freak, is that it's the sense of security, the sense that she know, all right,
She's
we
relaxed.
might have been in a relationship, but now this forever, like this be us.
Yeah.
So no holds bars. I'm about to just let loose, and
Yeah.
I'm very comfortable
I felt like
to
before
do.
I was here. Now
Right.
I'm like,
Yeah,
here.
that shit
You know
came
what I'm
relaxed.
saying?
Yeah.
Or
I'm
doing
by her
like
heart now.
other little stuff. Like when we get ready to have sex, like if he's already down there, like I can take his underwear off of my feet, and he's like, what type of trick
Monkey
is that?
feet.
Where did this
Monkey
come
feet.
from? And like, but not even that. Like
gonna try that.
girl, it's all types
And then the
of little
thing with me,
little
I think
tricks.
I opened up more, you know, because like before, you know, I ate pussy, but then like after, you know, we got married, like you got to spread it open. You got to
I had to teach him that.
Yeah, you got to get in there. You know
to
what
teach
I'm
him
saying?
that.
You gotta,
No, you know
so-
what? That's smart. You should only teach your husband how to
Right.
eat pussy because your boyfriend might break up with you and be
do it
eating
on
And then
somebody
go give it
else.
to somebody else.
Exactly.
But you
Yeah.
know what? Women also have to learn, you know, how to do that for a man too. If you can be great and be giving this one man the business, but his sensational spots might not be the same on the next person. And so like women sometimes have this thing like, I want to figure it out. I don't want to ask. I have no filter. Do you like this? What's your
Right.
favorite? It's been certain times where we're watching TV and I'd be like, hey, pull your pants down. Let me show you something real quick. He'd be like, what?
Let's try this.
Like a doctor.
Or like one time, I remember we were in the middle of
What?
watching TV. He's like, man, we relaxing. I'm like, press pause. So I made him get my iPhone before and like cut the flashlight on. I was like, have you ever really seen a pussy before? And he's like,
Oh my God.
what?
Man, I think about
He
it.
was
have
like,
I?
hell, he was
you
like,
know
no.
what I'm saying?
So I
I
sat
don't
there
do
and
it.
I
With the
made him
flashlight
open
well
and
do
made
I
him
know the
look
pussy.
and see.
and he got a
Yeah.
flashlight and he was like,
Come on, anatomy lesson.
Amazing.
You never even know it look
Nah,
like
that's
you never even knew it look like a
Man.
flower
but it's
now,
an
did you?
opportunity to talk, and it's not just about
I'm
the
a full out
sex.
OBGYN now,
you
man.
know-
I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
Doing
Like
past
that.
tense.
Yeah. But we talk about everything. Like
You know, you'd be
everything.
surprised how many women don't even know what their vagina look like.
Right.
At all.
And I think that's what makes sex better,
Let alone men.
and allows you to be more comfortable when you could talk about anything.
Yeah,
Talk about
that's true.
anything and express yourself. Like I was talking about that earlier, where I'm vocal now in the bedroom. Like, nah, do it like this,
Right.
Or I want to try this on you. Like I don't mind shooting my shot first. I don't at all.
I think,
know,
I
it
think
makes
that
it
was.
better.
I think
Way
that's
better.
what really made us connect as much as we do now. Like we started out like talking. Like
Oh, my
we
gosh.
spent nights and nights and nights like talking,
And we
like
still do.
hours and hours and hours just
That's good, though.
because. I got out of a previous relationship. She was in a previous relationship, and like, what am I doing wrong? Like, why are these things not working?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when I started, you know what? I'm just gonna let her have it. Like anything she asks questions, I'm gonna tell her the truth.
Communication.
I'm gonna communicate. I'm gonna make sure she feels comfortable. I'm gonna make sure that she knows, hey, this is who I am. Instead of like it later coming out, you know,
Right.
6 months down the road.
But that's also healing for you.
Yeah.
But
Like, opening
and
yourself
and
up.
it's a transparency that you get to walk around with. Like as women, I think in the beginning of a relationship, men kind of like us more. Once we start to like a dude, we like them. And my thing was, I'm gonna make sure he like me more than I like him. That's I wanted to.
And
That's what
says
you
that
always
all
get
the
to know.
time.
How did you do that?
So, I let him keep all my good stuff before I gave him all my bad stuff with still being transparent. I would purposely ask him uncomfortable questions that I knew would no man want to answer just to see how he was going to respond.
Like what?
Like he's a DJ and we've been in Dallas. He got a past. My thing was, should nobody else ever tell me something before you do? I don't give a damn what the hell it is. Don't have me out here looking stupid. So I could be in a room and I could know that by somebody else's body language, like, oh, you done talked to her before. She done.
And
So
she
I'll
extra
straight up
friendly.
ask her like, babe, you fuck her before? And he'll just be like at first he would be like, huh? I'm like, you did, didn't you?
Huh?
I want to see how he gonna respond.
As soon as he says "huh," you know it's true. 'Cause that's not enough.
What?
But
you
not
can
even
hide your
that.
question?
Not
If
even
you can
that.
hug
Like,
your hair, okay?
Right.
even in the bedroom, I would ask him intimate, deep, and detailed questions about women he's been with. You ever had a girl that's done this? Which one of them? Or who was better between this one and this one? I want to see what you know. I want to see.
Girl.
I want to spice it up. I want to see how you're going to answer it.
Did y'all ever dress up in the bedroom?
Do we ever what?
Dress up.
Yeah.
Like play dress up.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Come on, role play.
We like that little stuff, though.
What was your favorite?
She got this little get up, man. It's like she got little chains and everything hanging and everything.
Boy,
like
stop lying. Now, I know he don't like chains, so I've purposely asked, like, if I go get chains and I want you to crawl around with you, he be like, look, motherfucker, like, that's too much. Like, he straight up said, like,
that's too much.
Said that.
Get
About
Yeah.
it. But I like to do stuff like, we take a shower together almost every single night, so I'll purposely, like, take a little extra time in the bathroom, because I know he finna get out the shower, he finna brush his teeth, he finna go to the prayer closet. So he'll go to the prayer closet, because we have a prayer closet in our bedroom, and we go in that prayer closet together every single night.
Every night.
So I let him get in the prayer closet first. Now, I don't care what nobody say, the Lord said we can have sex, right?
Y'all freaking in the prayer closet.
So we ain't done it in the prayer closet. Don't play.
It started maybe in the prayer closet.
So I'll put on something, like I got a couple little different
Little situation.
So I'll put that on.
And go in
and
the prayer
I'll get
closet.
like this last time. This was recent. It was this one outfit that literally covered like the whole body, but it was like mesh and it had holes in it. And like this little piece went around my finger. So whenever we get into the prayer closet, it did. It had the nipples out. Yeah. So when he has to grab my hand, because when we hold hands in the prayer closet, we have like a sponge in between our hands. So when he grabbed my hand, I could feel like what's this on her? So we finished praying. And because he got in there before I did, he got done before I did.
Right.
So he raised up. And I'm down here and it's like, okay, Lord, I'm going to tap out now because my focus ain't here. So let me finish this. I finished my prayer. And as soon as he was like, oh, so you in the prayer closet like this, huh?
It was dark in there.
Stuff
It
like
was dark.
to catch him by surprise.
Yeah, that's cute.
Yeah.
I
Hey, I
love
just got
that
it
you
on
guys
after
have
praying.
A prayer closet.
I know, you know what?
Right.
I'm already thinking like,
beautiful.
Yeah,
Nah,
right.
man, I'm telling you, it will change your life.
You better put a prayer closet
Please,
in your
I'm
house.
about to make a prayer
Really?
closet right
Yes.
now, talking to
Yeah.
y'all.
And prayer, I'm
and
sure,
pray by myself.
gets you
I
guys
was about to say,
closer
it's
together.
not just for me and him though. Like we pray morning, noon, and night, and we pray together
everything. Like,
separately.
If
That's
something,
beautiful, man.
if somebody pisses her off, if she gets a phone call, her blood pressure starts to go up, and say, "Babe, go get in the prayer closet."
So how
Oh,
important?
that's gorgeous.
How important was that for
Wait,
y'all?
excuse me. I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt you. Me, like I've been moving closer to my faith over like the past 3 or 4 years, and I've been trying so hard not to have Jesus talk on lip service, and you know that. There was a moment everything was, well, you know, Jesus and this and Jesus that. Yeah. So I've been trying so hard. So it's really refreshing to hear you guys talk about prayer.
That's how I
and
dealt with the
things.
Kobe Bryant situation. Was
in
my
the
the prayer
prayer
closet.
closet.
So when Kobe passed, like that hit me. It hit, and as soon as I heard about that baby, like I almost
Oh, my
couldn't stand as a
God.
mother. Because he told me about Kobe, and like 10 minutes later he was in the bathroom. And when he told me about the Gianna part, when he came back, like I was just in there on my, I blacked out. I said, I got to just sit in this prayer closet. I got to. And it was just something. So, and every prayer closet doesn't have to be the same. You know, like we got certain words in there and I will hold on to my words or I'll hold on to my sponge. I just took a bathroom rug, cut it into a rectangle, and we put it under our knees when we get on the prayer closet.
Wow. How important was it for you guys to individually find somebody that like was able to do that, like pray or believe in God? Because I did have an ex that I didn't believe in God at all.
I don't think it could have worked.
No,
I wouldn't be able to be with somebody like that.
I mean, I could understand people's perspectives in the
Yeah.
sense of like feeling like, you know, you as a person, you have to also put in work to change yourself, right, in your life. But for me, I was just like, I want someone that believes in the higher power, because I know I do. So after a while, I realized like, wow, that didn't work for me. So
Why
important
did he
was
not
it?
believe in God? Was it like his family?
I guess he just went through his own things that he tried to pray through, and he realized that he kind of had to work out of those situations himself, you know, like on his own. And you know, I know a lot of people that do question religion, right? Like that's not like a
My
abnormal
brother
thing.
is atheist, and I love him. But the only reason I love him is because he's my brother.
See, questioning religion and believing
Religion
in
and
God is two
spirituality are two
different
different
things.
things.
religion
And
and
people don't know how to.
spirituality.
He's
Totally different
atheist. Like
things.
my
You have to
brother does not
separate.
believe in God.
Yeah, I think
he just believes we're here and we die, and that's it. That's what my brother. He believes in evolution. Right? That's what I said it right.
Yeah, but even in evolution, there had to be something that started something
doesn't
off,
make
right?
sense.
So like it had to make like, you know, there's a lot of Scientology and everything that people
That's
that get
the
into
shit he believes in.
but a lot of people feel like, you know, a lot of things that in the Bible aren't right or they're made up or man made the Bible. That's cool and everything, but I think for us it was more of a spiritual thing. Like we weren't really so worried about, you know,
organized religion.
Organized religion. Like me personally, I've always been about like self-empowerment, self-betterment. Like I'm gonna try to make myself as the best version of myself I possibly can. And when we met up, it was like, oh, you down with that too? Okay, bet.
Yeah,
like,
it's a
and so
connection.
it was just a connection, like chemistry that we had, that we just knew like, hey man, we about to go out here and get it. Let's do it.
And it helps you bond more
Yeah.
because you believe in the same
What if
thing.
Brandon was like, can I come sit in the prayer closet with y'all and we work through this?
Come on,
Angela.
I can do it.
come on.
All right.
I don't gotta like you to pray for you. I don't gotta like you to not want you to do better. Like I think let me just be transparent about the Brandon thing. Another reason at that time why that situation hit me so hard, my best friend in the beginning of our relationship was just like Brandon. And everybody was telling me the same things that some of us are telling him about that situation. Now, what I will say, she was more toxic than Brandon, and she was more painfully inflictive towards me than Brandon is towards him. So
Why
I do
was
have
that
to put
though?
that
Like,
out.
what was she doing?
She's one of them people, she did not have a great grasp of self-awareness. When things were going good in her life, it's girl power. But when things were going bad in her life, she had everything negative to say about something in my life. She always wanted us to be in the same place at the same time.
Right. That's impossible.
And she wasn't someone that could clap for her friends. Right. And when she was doing good, if I didn't have that going on in my life, I'm still speaking into you. Mm-hmm. What I didn't appreciate, her and I were both dating somebody. Their birthdays was on the same day. And she's one of them girls that's like, I want to be just like my best friend. You know what I'm saying? She met a new dude. I met him.
I hate that.
Her and that relationship started going down. So she had everything negative to say about him. She let this one situation happen where her and I had a personal falling out about something very minuscule. And the ex dude and my baby's father were friends. My baby daddy called out the blue to talk to the girls and knew all my business.
Damn.
I said, girl, I will
Hell no.
beat you down. So, but guess what? Because I seen where that was going and because I'm like, you know what? The head of a snake can be cut off. I killed it right there on the spot. So, but I had already had that built up and I was already there. And when he didn't do that, it pissed me off because I feel like I done it, you should have done it. And that was unfair. You know what I'm saying? I think that I just felt like you should do it the way I did it. Well, you don't rock for me how I rock for you. And there was other things built into that situation. You see what I'm saying? But I still feel like
I think women,
it was different.
And sometimes women can want their men to do things the way they do them.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? And vice versa.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
And when that person doesn't respond the way you think they should respond or how you respond in the past, they're like, oh, you not for me. Like, no, you choosing sides. And it's like, no, I'm not choosing sides. Like, I'm stepping out and I'm seeing both sides. And in that situation we had with a friend, like I didn't tell her to not be cool with her friends. I didn't have to tell her.
That's something I had to learn myself and accept that not everybody's like me. Not everybody has the same heart that I have. People are not going to do the same things that I do. It just is what it is.
So, did you ever get an apology?
Yes, I got an apology before the show.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? The
so
show.
then it got dragged back up again.
Exactly.
And
Drag
when I
back
say that was a wound
Boy.
that had stitches on it and was
And they
healing,
just kept
and they
plucking
kept
stitches.
popping it.
cut that sucker back
man.
on.
Snap eventually.
That's how that happened.
think about the show. Like you get the situation we were in with the show. We would never be in that
never be in that
situation.
situation.
Like
Right, yeah.
my mom, my sister, my best friend, her dad, her two sisters, and we all in one house. No TV, no phones, no internet, no nothing, and all we got is a whole bunch of Hennessy. Like,
Oh my God, that's
I already know that.
Hold on. But this is another thing that I learned from that situation, because what I always try to do is, even when I feel like you wrong, okay, what can I get better at? Where is my self-reflection in this situation? And I think that was, although I knew it, it was just a life situation for me to learn and understand, because I knew, but I didn't quite understand. Women love differently than men. Because even in that situation in the house, I would have done things differently just because, like, we love differently. Right. You know what I'm saying? And I can't expect a man to love the way I love no more than he can expect me to love the way that he loves.
Doesn't mean anybody loves anybody less.
No,
it's just
not
the
at
way.
all.
Right.
How do you guys deal with that? Because me and one of my good friends, we've been having this conversation for a while where men and women are different, right? In certain instances, men react differently. So how do you guys deal with that? Is there anything that he does as a man where you're like, oh, well, that's a man thing. Let me just not take it personal, or vice versa?
No, I tell him how I feel, because although you're a man, you love differently, you understand differently, I can teach you how to love me.
Right.
So I'm very vocal, and I think sometimes, or in previous relationships, I expected a man to read my mind. Oh, that hurt me. You didn't know that? You're not dumb. I know that you get that. And it's like, you know what? Sometimes they do be dumb and they don't know.
Or also,
it's just
like,
a different language, I think, that men and women have.
Or also, like, even when men, like, retract, when there's an issue, they kind of, like, clam into their shell.
They also think it'll blow over.
Yeah, versus us women, we like to, like you said, talk about things, express ourselves, and men like to fall back. So, like, there are a lot of differences between men and women.
I think I'm more of the fallback.
Yeah, I was going to say I fall back. I'm not more
the
one
fallback.
I like to talk about things
I
that
used to be like that, though.
I get right to it. I can't fall back.
I used to be the
definitely fall
fallback guy. Like, I used to be like, you know what? I'm mad. I'm not going to say nothing, because if I say something when I'm mad, I'm going to say some shit that's you know, I'm going to say something wrong. I'm going to regret later on. But then when me and her started dating, I was like, you know what? I'm going to take it head on. I'm going to talk about it right now. Like, no running from it. Come on, let's talk.
And when it worked, and you get used to that, you be like, damn, why didn't I do this with all these other? You know what I'm saying?
Well, thank God you didn't.
Thank God you didn't. Thank God you didn't.
We wouldn't be here right now.
We wouldn't be here.
And now, okay, we have this
chilling with
segment
Angela Yee
called
Jenkins.
True Sex. And I want to see what y'all think about this. Okay, so the story is this. 1 in 5 people have ended intercourse because of their partner's sexy talk turning them off. And it says a new study breaks down how and when talking dirty can actually kill the moment. So you know how you could be in bed and y'all are like talking nasty, and then somebody says something and it just ruins it for you in that moment? Has that ever happened to you? And what kind of things do you guys say to each other in the bedroom?
He's never said anything that has turned me off. He's done something and pissed me the hell off.
What'd he do?
He think it's funny, but when I say it's not fun, like
He laughing right now, so clearly he think it's funny. He knows exactly what
So
you're talking about.
like, I'm the overly sex. Like, my sex drive is way higher than he is. Like, I can have sex every day, 3-4 times a day, and would not get tired. I don't know
See,
what is wrong.
I have to put her.
When's your
like,
birthday?
I'm a Scorpio.
Okay. She sounds like a Virgo. She sounds like a Virgo. I was like, hold on.
So
like with her, I feel like I gotta like sanction the sex out. Like, okay, we did it 3 times this week. Give me 2-3 days, and then I'm gonna put you on punishment. You sit down for a minute, and then let it ramp back up.
She's like 2 or 3 times a day.
Right.
But my thing is, when he say what he want, how he want, he gets it. No, because if I don't do it, there's Susie, Ann, Beth, Lillian, Ashton. Like, there's all types of people. So I ain't gonna never give you space. Me and him can be in the car, and on the way home, and I'm like, babe, when I get home, I want head tonight. I want you to rub my feet. I want you to give me head. Yes. And guess what? He won't do it that day. Not the next day. Day 3. So I'm about ready to fight you.
How do you avoid this?
What happened to my
So he had done this, and I had been telling him what I wanted him to do. And could I initiate it and get it done? Yeah, but it's the principle. I told you.
I asked you.
See, this is my thing.
Hold on, no,
This
I'm
is
gonna finish this
okay,
one,
go
because
ahead.
when I say pissed me off, he
What did he
pissed
do?
me off. So it's been like 4 days. I done been throwing hints, been saying little stuff. Most of the time, I either sleep in something satin or nothing at all. So we in the bed and we laying, and he initiates, but he does it like half-ass. He's playing with me. It's not funny. He's playing with me. He's
It's
like,
not funny.
I know.
so babe, you want me to crawl over there on you, don't you? And as he's saying it,
Crawl
hold
over there
on.
I was tired.
Hold on,
bro.
he was tired, but it's been other times he's tired. Don't say that to me like it's a fucking
it's
chore.
a job. Like,
Right.
Then when he get on top of me, like, he's tired, but he's also playing. And when I said, you know what, you good. I was
Get it.
pissed. So he
Never
started
mind.
laughing. He was like, nah, girl, you know I'm just playing. I said, get the, stop. Like, I ain't
playing.
killed the move. I was pissed.
Man,
I was so
tired. I think
pissed.
like out
I was
of
pissed.
365 days, I probably DJ 300 out of those days, right? Like, so
I don't
like,
give a
I'm
damn.
not. That's not an excuse, but at that moment, I was tired. And me, I'm the like, I don't like. You don't have to tell me you want sex. Just do it. Like, just go
Right.
for it. Like, I don't like the announcements. Just do it. Like,
Then won't you just do
So
it?
what made you not?
I am.
What made you not do it 2 days prior when she said it 4 days?
I was probably tired.
You tired all those days?
I'll be
You gotta make
working.
time because if you're not too tired to go out and DJ,
Right,
Yeah.
right. You
gotta
right.
make
You
time
right.
to
that.
You right.
You
But
just
see,
do it.
sometimes, but I also kind of like for her to wait sometime because
Oh my God.
she be so ready, and I'm like, nah, I'm gonna have you wait for a minute. All right.
So you want to torture her?
Nah, it's not torture. It's just
It is.
Yes, it is.
It's funny.
You don't know, but it is.
He's building that.
When I tell y'all,
Exactly.
That's what he
when I
think he
tell
doing.
y'all,
He
Mr.
being
Boy
annoying is
all
what he
day,
doing.
like,
You
that's
annoying
all
the
he
pussy
do.
is
building
what
it
you
up.
have you ever had somebody in the bedroom say weird things to you, like you a bad little girl, or like something like that?
I
that just completely makes you be like,
I had a guy give me whole baby talk, like
Oh,
my little
nah.
boobies, my boo.
I would have smacked
I was
the
like-
shit out of him.
I was like, no, please, not little boo.
Did he ask you to
please.
breastfeed him or change his?
Oh,
That's
You know what I hate for a guy to
I need another
call
drink
that.
on that one. I need a drink on
because
that.
he was actually doing the baby talk while sucking on my breast. I hate you,
that's
Angela.
weird as fuck.
Yo, I swear.
Not the baby talk.
The baby talk, like it's my baby and shit.
And
Wait
y'all
a minute,
was
I had a
having sex
question.
or
He
was
was
y'all cuddling?
sucking on
Y'all-
my
y'all got
titties.
kids?
That's weird.
Isn't
You
that
got a
the
mother?
weirdest thing ever?
Two of them.
Nah.
Gigi
Okay,
and
so I got a
Stephanie.
quick question.
What's up,
After
honey?
you had a baby, you know, when your milk drops in your breast, every time you have sex, even if you don't breastfeed in the beginning, that milk comes. How did y'all handle?
He looks like he don't like that.
How did y'all handle having milk all over during?
I was 17. I don't even remember that part.
Yeah, and my for me, the milk came out for like 2 years. Like it was like glands. Like if I squeezed it, you could see it'll come out.
So was that happening when he was doing the baby talk?
No. No. No way.
Maybe that's
no way. Maybe it was.
He was having the baby talk to get that milk.
nah.
He was
No.
he was doing a baby
Your
talk.
titties was leaking for 2 years. He kept staying on it.
No, he was doing a baby talk to get that milk.
To get that milk.
That's what happened.
No, I
Crazy.
honestly, my daughter is 23 years old, so I was pregnant a really long time ago. I don't remember. I just remember them being really big. Like I have breast implants right now, but I was originally like a 34A, and I remember like after having my daughter for weeks and months after that, I was just like big ass C cup for a while before it all dried out, and then here we are. But that's all I remember though. I don't remember no milk or leaking or no postpartum or nothing like
Nah,
that.
I breastfed my son. I breastfed my son for like 8-9 months, which was hard.
I breastfed for like 8-9 minutes.
Did y'all ever have sex with the kids in the bed?
But he bit on me. He used to be like
No, but I did have sex when I was pregnant.
with his gums.
With him?
Yeah.
Okay, not with somebody else.
No.
Okay,
I'm not gonna lie.
I heard you had sex while you were pregnant.
No, well, I'm talking about like towards the end, like big pregnant.
Okay.
Like-
doesn't that help?
I
Yeah,
I
they
would
say
hope.
once you're like in third trimester.
Yeah,
having
I was
sex will help
hoping
you
that
go
it
ahead and go
would,
into
which is
labor.
why I wanted to do it. He didn't want to do it though. Like once my
that's
stomach got to a
sperm
certain
hit the baby
size,
on the
yeah.
head.
Actually made me go
I'm kinda-
into labor.
You
So
know,
wait a
I'm
minute.
kinda
You're
scared of
telling
that,
me
'cause-
that like once the doctor cleared you to have sex, your baby is still a baby. Your baby ain't ever been in the bed and y'all got it on like while the baby
I was
in the bed.
17.
Oh yeah, that was different.
Yeah.
I have.
And I still lived at home with my mother.
When my son was a little newborn, you know, we were all together, and you know, we might have had a
Yeah, no, I never
quickie
did
real
that.
fast while he was sleeping in the bed. I'm not gonna lie, that happened.
Yeah,
But you
no,
don't
I
think
never
that
did that.
babies could like know anything.
No.
And
I still
it's
lived
a
at home with my
little
mother.
Yeah, they
They
don't
don't
remember
know
anything like that.
And,
that baby might remember at 8. Like I feel
I
like
remember when I was 8 months old.
No, but I actually went into labor having sex because I was a monster when I was pregnant. I just could not stop having sex. Like I would wake him up in the middle of the night, like, come on, let's go. I would be mad at him, like, hurry up.
That's what I'm trying to prepare
I
him
just think
swear.
we were married to Drew
because my sex drive is gonna go up even more when I get these.
No,
twins.
when you get pregnant, yeah.
you said when I get these twins.
Yes, ma'am.
See, she keep talking about these
Okay.
twins,
She
man.
already got it.
received.
Yeah, she already
No,
got
and
it.
let
She
me
keep
tell you, I
talking
went
about
into
these
labor.
Speaking it into
It
existence.
already happened.
Yeah.
I went into labor having sex. Like right when we finished, I got the contractions.
Oh yeah, it will make you do that.
Yeah, I got the contractions, and it
He
might.
just
what I
thought you
was hoping
he just
for.
thought you was wet, but your water
and my
broke.
I
son was
pushed 3
out.
times too.
You squirted the baby out.
Yeah, I was 1, 2, 3.
I did the same thing.
No, I
3
pushed the
pushes.
first time, and my mother was like, "What the?" My mother was like, "What are you doing? Like, you don't even know what you're doing." And I was like,
Gee,
Mom,
Mom,
tell me, Mom, what do I do? And she's like, bite down on your teeth and do it the right way. Don't mess this up. I was like, okay. And
Sound like you was
2
doing a
months
play.
Oh.
Yeah,
Nah, I
what's
swear,
going on?
I didn't hear nothing. All I could hear was my mother. That's it. My mom in my ear, like, you're doing it wrong. Do it the right way.
Was sex different after having kids?
The first time, because like I said, with me and my son's father, we got pregnant 5 months into our relationship. We ended up staying together for 8 years, but we got pregnant 5 months into our relationship. So we basically got to know each other while I was pregnant.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And we were just having sex, mad sex. We were always like rabbits, always having sex. That's how we got pregnant. So
That's usually how it happens.
So exactly, you know what I'm saying? So they give you 30 days. You can have sex after 30 days after you give birth. So we're like counting the days. We're like counting the days, and on that first 30th day, like, yes, we could do it. And it was whack. It was horrible. It just didn't feel good.
Well,
it just
were you still in pain?
I thought you were supposed to wait like 6 weeks or something like that.
Yeah, no, we waited 30 days.
Oh.
That's why it was whack.
Yeah, you over here
You weren't
messing
ready.
some stuff up right now. Right.
You weren't ready.
Did it hurt? It didn't hurt. It just didn't feel healed.
Well,
It
Lala,
felt-
how about you?
Yeah, you weren't ready.
Me?
Yeah.
With my oldest daughter, I had sex right around the same time that you did. But the reason mine was so painful, I had an episiotomy with her.
Oh.
Yeah, I had
So
a episiotomy too.
my doctor gave me a brand new coochie. To
I had
this
a
day,
episiotomy
it's
too.
different.
Fresh out the
Like-
box.
Fresh out the box.
So that means none of those bodies counted
No,
before
so it was
that.
like a
Right.
virgin.
No,
It was like a
yeah,
virgin.
brand new box.
It was completely
They cut you,
different.
and then
My
they
mom
sew you
said-
back up.
Yeah.
Put a
And my
couple
doctor
extra
cut
stitches
me
in there, doc.
unnecessarily.
Jay, did you know about all this? Like, do you know these like
I know now.
terms?
I know now.
Do you know what a
No,
episiotomy is?
yeah. I mean,
Oh,
she
okay.
talks about stuff like this all the time, like random strangers and everything. So I be
Or
like,
airplanes and
yeah,
shit.
airplanes and
Me too. I'm the
everything. So
same.
I'd be like, oh, episiotomy. Okay, you got a brand new one out the box. So, you know, like,
Yeah.
she,
It
like
was
with her,
really-
everything is like she's like, that's one thing that really attracted me to her. Like, she's an awesome mom. Like, she loves her kids, our kids, like no other. Like, when I first met her, it was like, she thought that was gonna scare me away. Like, we were the way
I
we
tried to run him
yeah,
off.
she tried to run me off, and we met. Well, she says we met before.
Ain't no she say. Tell the story.
But the thing about her is, like, every time
go.
she changed her hair, she looked like a totally different person.
I met her before and I
Yeah,
didn't realize she was
yeah.
the same
But
person.
everybody says that. Everybody says that.
So when I met her, and so the next time I met her, she's like, we met before. I'm like, I don't know you. Like,
She's like, no, when I had my old box.
exactly. Like, the first box. And so,
It's a whole new box.
So, you know, like, she ended up coming to a fight party I was doing. And, you know, after the fight party, we ended up going, I was like, hey, what are you about to do? And she was like, you know,
cocky.
I told her, she was trying to go to some other spot. And I was like, we're not going there. We're going to this new spot. So we got there. And there was a line. I'm like, she was like, I'm not waiting in no line. I'm like,
Fine.
No, he said I don't do
no.
lines.
She said there's a big line here. I'm like, I'm not waiting in no line. Like,
Fine.
You know who I am.
And we
but
walk around.
yeah,
That sounds like me and
Right.
Gigi and Angela.
Right.
line. What is a
I'm
line?
not gonna lie. I'm not
What is a
gonna lie.
line?
General pop. What
Right.
is that?
Only lines we do is, oh, never mind.
No, she meant that.
Whoa. Okay. Or not.
But we
Hilarious.
end up
lines, Angela, bathroom
going
lines.
to the
Bathroom
club.
lines.
And not all the girls standing in the line of the bathroom type of lines.
Let him finish.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm just gonna sip my drink on that.
We had already met 6 weeks before. We followed each other on social media.
Oh,
kept
you
in
was
touch.
following her and didn't remember.
It was she switched her hair.
Hold on, let me tell the
Hold
story.
on. No, wait a minute. She slid in my DMs.
Oh.
She slid.
True.
Okay,
but
that's
it was,
cute.
She
hold
slid
on,
in
hold
my
on, hold on.
DMs.
It wasn't that type of slide. I had just got my real estate license in Texas.
There's only
right?
one kind of slide.
You a fucking liar, bro. Like, this type of shit I be talking. He be lying. We had a mutual friend. He had a whole girlfriend.
And she was dating my cousin.
Yo, he wasn't your cousin no more. Like, your mom.
No
ain't
more.
Hold on.
That's your cousin anymore.
Hold on. He killed me with this shit. Your mom and this dude's uncle divorced when he was like 16 or 17 years old.
Okay.
That ain't your cousin. They don't know each other. Like, they knew of each other.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
So he claims you as his cousin because you the DJ.
Now, because he know we
had
together.
the same last name at one point in time.
And then okay.
Yeah, at one point in
He
time.
was your cousin. Now he's not.
By marriage.
By marriage.
Okay.
Now he not.
Ain't been your
count,
cousin.
boy.
He not
Don't
Ain't been
count.
his cousin in 17, 18 years.
Don't count.
But so like long story short, I take her to the club, we talking and everything, and she was like, you gonna fall in love. I'm gonna make you fall in love with me.
You skip in the beginning. We met through a mutual friend at a club.
Right.
His cousin had pissed me off, so I'm like, hey, take me out. Let's go out.
Now
We
he
go
my
out.
cousin.
Shut up. Now, I did this. You just want to look.
She put the quotes.
Yeah,
He
she did.
kills me with that.
Now he my cousin.
So I had just got into real estate. Everybody I met that night, I sent the same copy and paste. Hey, nice to meet you. Hopefully I'll see you around in town. I'm trying to get my business and my name out there.
be
That's
looking
all
for
that
a
mattered.
house.
It was a strictly
Yeah,
platonic
yeah,
message. From there,
yeah,
him and I
for
liked
sure,
pictures.
for sure.
Look at him over there. It wasn't even like that. Like, it was just a mutual.
You know how it goes.
Okay,
no
but Lala, did you
flirting.
think he was cute?
Not like that. I'm gonna be honest. I gotta be 110% transparent. We come from two different worlds. He's in an urban world, single, DJ, me. I make 6 figures, divorced mom too. I'm thinking
I wasn't making 6
hold on.
figures.
He was, but it wasn't about money because I'm like, I can take care of myself. Who's gonna be a father figure? Let me be real. I had already been through a divorce with my
Right.
girl's dad. I'm thinking I'm gonna have, white collar, lawyer, doctor, somebody that's a great role model. And sometimes God would deliver packages to you in a box that you don't recognize it in, right? So when I seen
Open that
him,
box.
no, that was not attractive to me.
Right.
So 6 weeks circle back around. It was a Floyd Mayweather Conor McGregor fight. So my dude that I was talking to, we was already on tail
cousin.
end. Shut the fuck up. Hadn't been really getting along. Hadn't been get off of me.
No more than
like hadn't been talking and stuff. So I'm like, I'm going out tonight. This nigga done pissed me off, but I ain't finna sit in the house because he
Right.
tripping. So he had just posted, hey, having a watch party.
Right.
DM if you want the location. So that's why I hit him up. I sent some eyes like, where is it at? He
I
said,
fuck
I
his
said-
cousin.
no, I didn't. So you so chafing, but listen, I didn't know they were cousins till after we slept together. So the
Because she
bad
asked
thing,
me what my name was after
didn't
we
know his
slept
real
together.
name.
And then she was like, what's your last name? And I told her my last name. She was like,
So this what happened. We went to that party.
Now it's your last name.
We went to
got a
no,
new
it's a
box,
different
so it
last
don't
name.
matter. That's your
It's a
cousin
different
too.
last. No, we got. Ooh,
we
y'all
kept
so
it in the
messy.
family, man. We kept
a
it in the
different-
family.
Kept it in
They don't have the same last name no more.
I can't.
They don't.
We don't have the same
But
last
it's a
name
new
no
box, so that
We
don't
met
So,
that
yeah.
night.
That don't even
We
matter.
went to the
it.
club not to the club. We went to the watch party to watch the fight. After the fight was over, I'm trying to walk out. He flirting. Day one, we always kind of competed with each other. He told me, oh, little club, you going too whack. I'm like, this little nigga over here. Okay, I'm going to go.
Right.
So we went. We get to the club. I'm a lightweight. Even being with him for 3 years, I drink
That's
more.
why she babysitting right now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
she
I
ain't
would be
barely
up here.
drinking.
Yeah.
Touch that drink out.
I
Right.
would get all kind of family secrets. But we go to the club. I had 11 shots and 3 sex on the beaches. Every
Damn.
shot.
That was me last
Hold
night.
on.
That was me last
Every
night.
shot, I'm like, oh, he
And I'm a
cuter
total
and
lightweight.
cuter and
He's
cuter.
getting fuzzier. You like,
So I
Oh my
ran
God,
from him.
Oh my God.
So the club ended at 2, around 1:40. So we had started kissing in the club.
No, she told
Y'all
me.
was
No,
kissing in the
no.
club.
No.
She
That's
told
dope.
me. She told me. We over here talking and everything, and this when
Here
she
he
was like,
go.
I got kids. I'm like, so I go to a page, I start liking all the pictures with the kids and everything. I don't give a
Okay.
damn.
He flirting in the
I
club.
don't give a damn. Like,
He keep
okay,
getting in my
yeah.
face, and I'm like, you need
But
to
did you
back
like
up. I'm
it?
not.
but y'all
I
started
did.
kissing.
Right, no, but then she told me,
No.
she's like, well, I bet you won't kiss me. I'm like,
Okay.
bad. Whatever. Come on, yeah, come on.
Because
I
you're
had
supposed to
on
be
red
player
lipstick.
from the Himalayas.
My cousin
Right,
came and
right.
pulled him off of me, and I did a
Macaroni.
video. I had red lipstick all. She said, "Bitch, go to the bathroom and clean your face." So we
Smeared
come
the
back
lip.
from the
How
bathroom.
did I know the kiss was like that?
Girl, no, we were in. I'm talking about. Think about a full 3 to 4 minutes in a club, just lip locking. I got a group of friends. They all
I've
just
never
sitting here
done this
watching
before in my
us.
life.
So I
Never.
go to the bathroom and see my face. That kind of sobered me up. I'm like, bitch, you tripping.
Right.
So I come out the bathroom.
You gotta have a pep talk
And I
with
said,
yourself.
hey, I'm finna grab my purse. We finna go. She was like, we ain't telling nobody about it. I said, shut the fuck up. We finna go. I said, I'm 29. I ain't ever been a hoe my whole life. So I'm finna have a whole night tonight. We don't get up out this club.
She
So
had a
I
whole
go,
night.
shut the fuck up. I go to my car, but it was his car, my car, his friend's car. We get to the car. I'm like, okay, give me 5 minutes. Let me just sit here for a second because I'm drunk. So I roll my chair
She
back.
thought
I
she
sit
could
there,
run.
and I hear
I come
somebody
up in the parking lot.
Tapping on the window.
on the window. Ain't got
You
me
ain't leaving yet. He said, you ain't
He's
leaving
too
yet.
drunk to drive.
I
Let
let
me drive you.
hold on. I let the window down. He was like, you running from me? I was like, We just came to the car because we wanted to beat the crowd. He said, so y'all wasn't gonna say bye? I'm like,
Damn.
Got him.
And you had to stay
Got
right
him.
there.
But I was gonna say bye because I wanted to keep spending time with you.
So wait, did y'all leave together that night?
Yeah.
Yes.
So we go across the street to get tacos. Here he go. I don't do lines. He thought he was gonna get this line. They told his ass it was an hour wait.
Right.
So everybody leaving, and everybody had left except my cousin and one of his friends. And his friend wasn't feeling my cousin. He was like, bye. So he was like, well, where y'all finna go? I said, we finna go get us something to eat. And I was like, where you stay? And he told me where he stayed. I told him where I stayed. I was like, we're like 25 minutes apart. I'm trying to shoo him off. He was like,
And I had a flight to catch that morning.
I'll follow you home. Follow me
Make
home.
sure you get home.
I bet
safe.
you he will.
He followed me home. I'm thinking all three of us finna go eat. My cousin was like, girl, I'm not finna be a third wheel. And she left. I stayed
Not mad at
upstairs
that.
for almost
Lasted the
20
Mohicans.
minutes, hoping he would just drive off. He waited. So I go downstairs. We go to Denny's. We talked in Denny's for 7 hours.
Damn. He missed his flight. Did you
No, we
know?
went in Denny's for 7 hours.
No, we went in Denny's for 7
we-
hours. We talked at night
Yeah,
for
we
7
talked
hours.
at night. Yeah.
So
and
he
then
followed me back to my house.
Then I got the draws.
You didn't want to let go.
Hold on. Before we got out the car, I looked at him. I'm like, I said, you want to come upstairs? I said, I'm telling you right now, you're not fucking. You can stay. I said, I'm too grown for
They
this. I said, but we done had
always
a
say
different-
that
you
when
fucked.
you know they about to.
I've
Yeah.
been there
fucked.
too,
Yeah.
girl. Don't
That was
worry.
those 11
I've been there
shots.
too.
That was them
That
11
was the
shots.
shots.
Right.
So he had a
Shots.
flight
And
to
the
catch.
sex on the
Nah.
beach.
Yeah.
Right.
Two.
It was a sex on the beach.
I
Sex
had
on
a,
the beach.
I had
I
a
thought
flight
the
to
room
catch.
had waves.
I'm a bartender. I know what's in there.
I had a
the
flight to
room had
catch. I
waves.
changed my flight.
He changed his flight.
But listen,
Changed my
everything
flight.
happened how it should. Those
Yup.
11
And look at y'all
shots
now.
made
Married.
y'all.
We here.
So
Nigga, we made it.
No, and
Nigga,
please,
we
I
made
say
it.
that all the time. Sometimes you can have sex with somebody, you can make them wait a year, you can make them
Right.
do it on the first night. It doesn't make a difference. I met somebody in the club one time and slept with him the first night, and we had a 4-year relationship.
Just don't do anal the first night.
Good.
yeah.
Yeah, just don't do anal.
And don't give him head the
Nah,
first night either.
Don't give him head the first night.
No, ma'am.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what
First
are
off,
the
you don't
rules
give
for
a
the
man
first
head
night?
unless he done gave you head first.
What are the rules
But if
for
he
the
gives you
first
head,
night?
then you can give him head
the
on the
next
first
time?
night.
See,
Yes.
she
You gotta
pulled
have
that.
some
She
time- you
pulled
gotta
that
have
on
a
the
few
first night.
princess
She
ways.
pulled
I'm
that on the
sorry.
first night.
Like you could have
She-
sex on the first night, but you still gotta hold back. Is what you saying?
Yeah, you gotta hold back a little.
That's what I said. People always say.
She pulled that on the first
yeah.
night, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna play your game. I can invest in the box. You know what I'm saying? Like I can invest in the box. Yeah.
Please, Roddy.
All right. Well, I appreciate y'all for coming on.
Thank you
because
for
Family or
having us.
Fiance, we saw that on there, but we didn't get the full
Right.
No.
story.
Thanks
We
for
get to see
clearing the air and
full
giving us the full
personality. So
They
it's
only
good
showed
that y'all
like
came.
a
You know, they
snippet.
show what they want to show.
Yeah.
You know, that's how they do.
But I think this was very great for people to be able to see this.
Very informative.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you
The
for
cute
having
story
us.
of how y'all met and everything.
Yes, it was good.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Lala, Dre. We appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Family or
Appreciate you.
Fiance.
Thank you.
Are we gonna get updates on it? Or
We don't know.
You know, we have our own little situation we're working on right now.
Yeah.
So
okay.
yeah, we're gonna
Little
put out.
spinoff situation?
Yeah, we're gonna
This
put out
might be
our own
ours, though.
content. Yeah.
Okay. All right. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Because y'all have a situation that I'm sure a lot of people can relate to.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's lip service.